Up with CBS 8.
All right, and this morning the Padres in a playoff state of mind here. Thanks so much for joining us at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampo. Yeah, we're all excited for this. Today's the day the Padres begin their quest for that championship. The wild card round starts today. They'll be playing the Mets in New York.
CBS 8's Chris Grow live in Miramar, where there will be a viewing party for fans, which not starting in a couple of hours. That's actually getting underway right now, and you're inside.
You're there?
Why aren't you guys here? The game is
exactly.
at 5 p.m. The watch party has started now, so where are you guys? Why are you late? I thought you were coming out here because, again, we're going to kind of keep our distance here because we have some people who are seriously working on their laptops right now. We don't want to get them in trouble, but again, they are out here waiting for the game to get started. We have a live remote from 97.3 The Fan. You'll hear that going on as well, too. You hear that excitement again. Padres fans up and early, a good 11 hours before first pitch. Now, of course, back to the game. We know, of course, the Padres will be in New York for maybe 3 games, hopefully only 2 on our favor. So when that game gets started, it's actually going to be Yu Darvish versus Max Scherzer today. That first pitch, 5:07 p.m. Now, the Mets, technically, they're the favorites today, according to the odds books. But when you look at that regular season, the Padres actually won 4 of the 6 matchups. So if the pitching remains as hot as it is right now, it gives the Padres a chance. Of course, you're hoping the bats of Machado as well as Juan Soto are able to catch fire. Anything can happen in the baseball playoffs. I was just texting a friend. Since we were born in '91, it's the Marlins who have twice as many World Series as the Dodgers and probably spent maybe a tenth of what they have, which just proves again that in baseball, anything can happen. The Padres have a very talented roster. It's just a matter of time to see whether or not the cream will rise to the top.
The regular season, you're built for 162. The postseason, you're built for, in this case, 2 out of 3. So, moves probably come a little bit quicker. You're probably not as patient at points in time during the game. And, you rely on, your entire roster like you do during the course of the season, but there's certain guys that are probably a little bit more important, whether it's your starting pitchers or the guys that you rely on kind of more to top to middle of the order.
And look, guys, we are at AleSmith, but I do have to say we are drinking cold brew right now, okay? This is not one of their stouts or their IPAs. We are, in fact, drinking a little bit of coffee. Maybe we might switch over to beer once the sun comes up, but it's a little whiles away, right?
Yeah,
in like 45 minutes.
And they have the non-alcoholic beer, too.
Yeah, non-alcoholic beer, the cold brew.
Mix the coffee in there.
For now.
Lots of different brews there than fans, that's for sure.
And I hope all the people on their laptops, their bosses, know they are working. Thank you, Chris.
Exactly.
They're working. I see laptops out.
Oh, yeah. That's right. All right, Chris, thanks for that. So here's the schedule, everyone. Game 1 today at 5:07 p.m. Tomorrow's game and Sunday's game, if that one's needed, are scheduled for 4:37 p.m. Remember, you got to win 2 of 3. Coming up in our next half hour, our John Howard will have more on how the Padres are preparing.
And now let's take a look at some other numbers here. This one, gas prices. Yeah, they're down slightly. Today's average price here, $6.40. That's 3 cents less than yesterday. Coming up in our next half hour, why some state lawmakers are calling for an investigation now into these high prices. And check your bank account this morning. California is sending out that first round of what's called the middle class tax refund. Payments will range between $200 and $1,050, depending on your income. They're going to do this direct deposit style. So to be eligible, you must have filed taxes in California in 2020, and you must still live here. Everyone who's eligible is expected to have their payments by January.
Other headlines here this morning, a 19-year-old swim instructor is in jail accused of sexually abusing a 7-year-old boy during private lessons. Investigators say the boy told his mother that Nicholas Piazza assaulted him in his Rancho Santa Fe home last month. Piazza was also an instructor at Callan Swim School in San Marcos. The alleged assault happened in Rancho Santa Fe. A former manager says Piazza was accused of inappropriate behavior with children there too, but was kept on as an instructor.
I believe he was kept because he was the assistant manager's son. And to be quite honest, the owner, Brett Callan, I was told by him and his wife, Yvette, that he should be in the water as little as possible.
That woman says she was fired for going to the police last year. In a statement, Callan Swim School says Piazza is no longer employed there and was not employed when the alleged assault in Rancho Santa Fe happened. They also say they would never put any of their students in jeopardy. Authorities are asking other potential victims to come forward. This morning, County Supervisor Jim Desmond is demanding information when it comes to the placement of sexually violent predators. He filed a public records request for information from Liberty Healthcare. That's the agency that handles the release of SVPs. This comes as Desmond says 5 more sexually violent predators are set to be placed in the county before the end of the year. This morning, the White House is taking steps toward decriminalizing marijuana. President Biden is pardoning thousands of Americans convicted of simple marijuana possession under federal law. Critics question the timing of the move, calling it vote pandering since it's a month before the midterm elections. The president called on other governors to follow suit. He also asked the Department of Health and Human Services and U.S. Attorney General to review how the drug is classified.
And now take a look here this morning. We're getting a look at some wild weather across San Diego County. So what you're looking at here is a dust storm. This is from CBS 8 viewer Jim Zool. Thank you for sending this. This was Borrego Springs yesterday. I'm glad Jim was far enough away. You don't ever want to be caught in something like that. Yeah. And then here's another view of the dust storm. This one from Christopher Peterson in Ocotillo Wells. Yeah, the wind was churning all that up. It was a different story, though, in the mountains. Watch this. That would be hail in
time.
Julian. This was about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So you hear them all say, wow, because, yeah, I mean, these thunderstorms just create this kind of crazy weather sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we have these microclimates here, right? I mean, we would have had no idea inland this was happening or on the coast, and then there's just crazy weather in the deserts and mountains.
My apartment faces east, so I get the view of kind of East County and the mountains. And last night I was watching TV, and periodically I was like, oh, I just saw a flash. Yeah, you just kind of see these quick bursts of light that come through. Thunderstorms were coming down that created some hail. Dust storms were passing through the deserts, not only in San Diego County, but also across San Bernardino and Riverside County yesterday evening. This was all associated with a pretty strong gust front that came through, gust front. And what we're seeing is that brought up your wind speeds across our San Diego County deserts, and it also allowed for that convection over the mountains. Now, for a period of yesterday evening, we not only saw a severe thunderstorm warning, but also a blowing dust advisory. Both of those have expired now. We do not have them in effect to start off our Friday morning, but we do have the potential that we could see some more thunderstorms in the forecast over our mainly mountains, but really possibly pushing west or east across the deserts or across our inland valleys over the course of the weekend. We also have that risk that we could see more blowing dust in the forecast if we see conditions start to deteriorate like that, like they did yesterday. Keep in mind, along the immediate coastline, we're still encountering limited visibility thanks to that marine layer. So that marine layer has pushed on shore 7 miles of visibility from Oceanside down through Miramar, 6 in Kearney Mesa, 8 in Coronado. So we do have limited visibility, but it's not quite as rough as it was, say, earlier in the week or late last week. The thunderstorm forecast is mainly including your mountaintops. That's where these thunderstorms would originate, but have the chance of pushing farther off to the west or east. El Cajon, we saw some pictures that were sent in yesterday of some menacing clouds out there. So you can get the idea that it is in general very mild overall, sunshine prevailing by the afternoon. Temperatures are pretty comfortable out there, but we see that threat of thunderstorms in the forecast each day through the afternoon and evening, mainly through about 4, 5, 6 p.m. is kind of that best opportunity for it. Here are your rain totals from your Thursday. Over 1/2 an inch in Pine Hills, Lake Cuyamaca almost 4/10 of an inch, Julian just over 3/10 of an inch, so pretty decent accumulation. That stubborn marine layer sticks around throughout the weekend, warming temperatures, and looks like we'll start to cool down toward the beginning of next week, and thunderstorms possible for our inland valleys. Let's switch gears, talk about traffic as we kick off the morning. No major crashes or collisions on the road. We will keep you updated if we see anything popping up. You can head to cbs8.com/traffic for the latest.